This past summer, the film Inside Out 2 came out of the theaters. And it tells the story of a young woman, a young teenager, really, named Riley, who is a big hockey player at a summer camp just before going off into high school. Now, just as with the first movie, the plot centers around Riley's emotions and their journey inside her head. And the chief of these emotions that Inside Out 2 covers is anxiety. Now, anxiety leads to a lot of trouble for Riley in the film. But it doesn't start out that way. On the surface, anxiety seems like a good thing. Anxiety helps Riley to plan for the future, to figure out how she's going to have friends in this new high school and how she's going to keep playing hockey and doing so incredibly well. But anxiety also leads Riley down a darker path in trying to do all this, and trying to accomplish all these things for the future. Anxiety leads Riley to shun her old friends who have come here to be with her for this camp. It also leads her into making really bad choices that Riley wouldn't have otherwise done. What anxiety ends up doing, the reason that anxiety is leading Riley down this dark and dangerous path, is because in the midst of making these plans, in the midst of preparing for the future, anxiety is also trying to shift Riley's core identity. And that's what leads her down these dark times. It's when Riley is able to accept not just the good about herself, about her core identity, but the bad as well. That she's able to start coming back. That she's able to do things like ask her friends for forgiveness. It's when Riley starts realizing these things that not only does she return to a sense of who she was before, but she actually reforms into something that's better. Somebody who's willing to take the time to learn, to be a good teammate, to try to be a good friend once again. It's when Riley is able to put to rest this identity that anxiety is trying to forge for her. Is she's able to move forward in a much more positive light. Now, our identity is rooted in our Lord Jesus Christ. It is founded in the death that Jesus experienced on the cross. And in following that death, our Lord's resurrection into new life. These are what form our identity in faith. Just ultimately the love and life-giving grace which our Lord Jesus has And if we can stay true to that identity, then just like Riley, we will be reformed. We will be renewed. We will have new life breathed into us. We can get all of this new life, this restored sense of self, if we can only follow in that core identity that we have with our Lord Jesus Christ. And you might not think that our readings today point to this lesson, because on the surface, for what we see in them, they're looking beyond us. They're looking beyond into that life beyond this life, beyond death even. We see that sense of the beyond in all our readings today. We see it first in Isaiah, where the prophet is giving a sense to the Israelites, even before their exile from their home, even before their return from exile to their home. Isaiah is giving a sense of what comes beyond, of all the glory and greatness that can be received if only the Israelites will take the time to follow the Lord. To follow the Lord for the first time in their lives, even. We see it in Revelation, as we see the glory, the heavenly kingdom that is to come. The heavenly kingdom when this life is ended, and we move to the resurrected life after. We even see this look at what comes beyond death in our gospel today, as we hear the story of Lazarus. Our focus in our readings today is on death, but it is only so to show us the hope we have in Jesus. We see that hope in the description of what is to come. That description we get in both Isaiah and Revelation. We also see it with Lazarus, because Lazarus' death is not the end. Lazarus' death is only the beginning. It is something that Jesus is able to move him beyond, to give Lazarus new life, restore life, even though he has been for quite some time very much dead. Things die. This is true. But if we hold on to Jesus, nothing else, if we let Jesus in, then we too will be reborn. Lazarus is a sign for us. A sign for us. All of us who are part of the great communion of saints. Lazarus is a sign of what is there for us beyond death. And that is new life. New life in Jesus. if we hold on to our identity as followers of our Lord Jesus Christ, that's something that is life-giving, life-restoring, life-renewing even. If we can root ourselves in Jesus, stay rooted in our Lord Jesus, then we will move forward in being made into something new. If we allow something else, anything else, to take away our focus, if we allow something else in our lives to become an idol for us, it will be just as what we see with anxiety in Riley's head. Our core identity will be torn apart, and we will panic because we do not know what to do. If instead we can make Jesus our core identity, then instead we'll be reformed and made into something new. We don't need to fear death or anything else, because with Jesus, all things, even dying things, are being made new. And that is what being a member in the communion of saints is all about. That's what we remember by being here on All Saints Sunday. Sainthood doesn't end with this life. It continues in the life beyond, in the life that Jesus has given to us through the resurrection. And so we look ahead. We look ahead at what's to come, where we will be able to stand. We will be able to exist with our Lord Jesus Christ, the one who first shaped us into this life, and who loves us so much that he is willing to shape us again into something new